So hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to Phoenix What If. So we are back with a brand new movie on what if Godlike Naruto fell in love with Masaki Kurosaki in Bleach World. But before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's begin the story. Naruto. A blonde boy we knows as Naruto screams as he jumps 10 feet in the air. Dazed and confused, Naruto starts to rub his eyes in order to rid of the exhaustion that plague his body. Soon his vision starts to clear and everything goes into focus. He looks up with weary eyes, wanting to see who would dare wake him up at this ungodly hour. The first thing to appear in his vision is a mop of orange that looks very familiar to him for some reason. Then it clicked. Ichigo, what the hell is your problem? It's too early in the morning to be waking people up. Too early at 8 o'clock. Ichigo yelled. Naruto deadpanned, your point being? Ichigo sighed, I'm tired of this. Ichigo gives Naruto an impassive look, just get dressed before we're late to school. Ichigo said before exiting the room. A frown appears on Naruto's face, geez, what's his problem? Naruto shrugs, oh well, time to get dressed. Naruto jumps to his feet and rushes to the bathroom. In the bathroom, Naruto, looking straight into the mirror, is greeted by the image of a teenage boy with two long bangs framing both sides of his face. Other smaller bangs are draped across his forehead, barely touching the top of his eyes. Spikes of unruly hair can be seen on the top of his head, ending at the base of his neck. Eyes the color of the ocean that seem to have an unnatural glow to them, and 3 whisker-like marks are shown on each cheek. Further down his body is showing the beginning development of rock-hard muscle, if his six-pack is anything to show. Man, I look good, Naruto says as a fox-like grin breaks across his face. Palming his fist into his hand, well enough admiring the view, it's time to get dressed. With that, Naruto rushes to complete his morning rituals. 15 minutes later. What's for breakfast? Naruto shouted as he raced to the kitchen. Morning, Naruto Onichan, we're having pancakes, said an adolescent brown-headed girl whose hair fell on the right side of her face with a red clip on the left side of her head. She possessed soft brown eyes filled with innocence. She was wearing a short-sleeved pink shirt with a white skirt ending to just above her knees and was wearing a pair of all-white Converses. She also had an apron draped over her form, a ladle present in her hand, and a warm smile on her face. Could you not shout so early in the morning, Naruto? Said a black-headed girl whom seemed the same age as the other girl. Her hair fell to the base of her shoulder and around her eyes. She possessed cold chocolate brown orbs that seemed to be sending a murderous gaze towards Naruto. She was wearing black tank top with a picture of a golden cat on the front. Underneath her shirt was a plain white tee and her feet were a pair of black sneakers. Said blonde sweat dropped. Oh, sorry Karen, I didn't mean to be so loud, I was just hungry. You know, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head. Speaking of being loud, where's Otu-sa? Naruto's speech was interrupted by a sudden shout. Your guard's down, Ichigo. A figure shoots through the air and nails Naruto in the chest with devastating force, rocketing him face first into the wall. Haha, I've got you now, Ichi. Said Kurosaki Isshin, father to Naruto, Ichigo, Yuzu, and Karen, a man with short spiky black hair and a short and stubby beard. Isshin gave Naruto an oblivious look. Naruto, what you doing laying on the floor? Isshin asked innocently. Naruto, struggling to get back to his feet, shoots his father a menacing glare. Are you fucking serious? Naruto looks at his as if he's insane. You just came out of nowhere and pulverized me for no reason. Naruto roared as fire seemed to dance in his eyes. Isshin gulped. Hee, my bad, I thought you were Ichigo. By the way, where is he? Yuzu replied. He went to school already, saying something about not wanting to be late again. Sudden realization strikes Naruto. Oh crap. I'm going to be late again. I'm already in hot water with Okabe-sensei. Naruto begins scarf down his food at an inhuman pace, jumps up and grabs his bag and races out the door. Karakura High. Okay class, open up your textbooks and turn it to page 132 and beggy. Okabe-sensei stated before getting interrupted by the sound of the door opening. Glancing at the door to see who had caused the disturbance. Recognizing the person, a smirk graced her lips. Well, look who finally decides to show up. Kurosaki-kun. Didn't I tell you last time that if you are late again that I will give you cleaning duty for a month? She says, smirk still in place, sending a glare into the direction of his brother who just rolled his eyes. Give me one more chance. I promise not to be late again, Naruto says while using his patented puppy dog eyes. Okabe-sensei resolve falter under that gaze and she gave a sigh. Just don't let it happen again, Kurosaki-kun. I'd swear you're going to be the death of me, she said, face palming. A grin that looked like it would split his mouth into broke out across his whiskered face. Thanks sensei, you're the best. There's a reason you're my favorite teacher. An image of Chibi Naruto is seen dancing above his head. Not wanting to risk any more trouble, Naruto hurries to his seat, which so happened to be right beside his brother. He takes his bag off and proceeds to get out the needed materials. He gives Ichigo a look that translates to, "We'll talk about this later." Karakura High, lunchtime on the roof. Our favorite blonde is seen sprawled out on the ground, slurping up a cup of noodles. Finishing, he sighs in contentment and discards the container into a wastebasket with the empty cups. Naruto begins to smack his lips to savor the flavor of God's gift to the world. No matter how many times I eat ramen, it never gets old. What say you, Ichigo? Naruto explains, looking at his brother. Ichigo raised an eyebrow, a disgusted look present on his face. How is it physically possible for you to eat so much ramen and never seem to gain any weight? Ichigo asked curiously. Naruto gave full-blown grin and winked. Trade secret. Naruto was about to continue, but a voice stopped him in his tracks. I knew I'd find you Kurosaki's up here, said a boy with brown eyes and hair wearing the school uniform. Why didn't you invite me up here with y'all? I thought we were friends, said the boy, anime tears streaming down his face. Calm down, Keigo. Stop acting overdramatic, said a new boy with short slicked back black hair and dark brown eyes, also wearing the school uniform. As you can tell from this point, I am getting tired of writing these descriptions. If you are a real Bleach fan, you should know who I'm talking about. If not, you're on a computer, Google it. Keigo shoots him a glare. Oh, be quiet, Mizuhiro. Can't you see me and the Kurosaki twins are trying to have a moment here? Yelled the melodramatic boy known as Keigo. Naruto facepalms. How did they find us? Me and Ichigo made sure no one would follow us up here. Naruto's thoughts are suddenly interrupted by the sound of a new voice. Hey Ichigo, I knew I would find you up here with your brother. How's it hangin'? Said a spiky black-haired girl with black eyes and an athletic body wearing the school uniform. She possessed a slightly above-average bust with toned legs. Next to her, another girl who possessed long orange hair with big beautiful brown eyes. She also wore the school uniform and her bust seemed to be straining to stay in her shirt. The orange-haired looked up with a cheery smile. Hi Naruto-kun. Kurosaki-kun, said the girl, waving. Naruto looks up to see who called him, immediately bust out in a foxy grin. Hi Haim-chan. Suki-chan. We were just talking to these two bakas. What brings you up here? Asked Naruto lovingly. Suddenly, too fast for Naruto to comprehend, a fist impacts with the left side of his face, sending flying. Ah! Naruto screams as his back impacts with the cold hair surface of the door. Tatsuki blushed furiously. What have I told you about calling me that, Naruto? Shouted the infuriated girl named Tatsuki. Keigo whispers to Mizuhiro in a joking manner. Someone is as violent as usually. Mizuhiro snickered at his words. Tatsuki turns and gives Keigo a death glare. You got something to say, Asano? An aura of fire dancing around her form is seen. Keigo gulped. And I mean nothing, we were just talking about how wonderful a person you are. Keigo replied nervously. Yeah, that's I thought. Said I mean Tatsuki. Orihime shouted. Naruto-kun. Are you alright? She voiced in concern. Over by the wall with Naruto. Naruto struggles to stay conscious and is failing to as his vision starts to grow dark. Yep, she loves me. Naruto mumbles to himself before his world is encompassed in darkness. Somewhere in Karakura town, school's ended and you see our blonde hero he just doesn't know yet, and his twin walking the trail that leads to their home. Ichigo, you see how much Tatsuki loves me. She even gave me a love tap. Naruto points to the bruise on his left cheek. Ichigo looks at Naruto as if he's grown a second head. Are you for real? If she does, she sure has a weird way of showing it. Ichigo said sarcastically. Naruto closes his eyes and smiles. She does, she just doesn't know it yet. Naruto stated matter-of-factly. Ichigo rolls his eyes. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Naruto and Ichigo continue the walk home. In the distance, they can make a memorial of some kind. On further inspection, there's little girl no older than 6 crouched down beside it, crying her eyes out. Moving to comfort her, they are stopped by a couple of teen skaters rolling by and knocking over a vase of flowers. The skaters are too engrossed in their activity to pay attention to their surroundings. Ichigo taking notice to the action. Oi! Bastard, did you just see what you just did? Ichigo asked, a scowl forming on his face. Naruto, equally angered, shouted, yeah. What he said, hurry up and apologize then leave. Shooting them a piercing gaze. Freaked out and afraid for their lives, the skater boy rush off in hurry to rectify their blunder. They pick up the vase and get into a praying stance. They spoke in unison, we're sorry. We won't let it happen again. They gave Naruto pleading look as if asking to spare their lives. Naruto sighs, just get out of here. Not trying to look a gift horse in the mouth, the boys proceeded to run as if their lives depended on it, disappearing around a corner, blending with the populace. Turning back, Naruto looks down to see the still crying little girl. His eyes soften. What's wrong? Such a cute little girl shouldn't be crying. Naruto said, kneeling over with a smile. Said little girl looked up, giving Naruto a chance to examine her facial features. She big brown tear-stained eyes and brown pigtails. She was wearing a white gown with no shoes, and there seemed to be a broken end of a chain connected to her chest. She wiped the tears from her eyes and said, I am scared. New tears bursting out her eyes. Naruto puts his hands on her shoulders and pulls her into a hug. There's no need to be afraid. I'm sure you'll go to heaven to be with your family again. You just have to have faith, remember that. Okay, Naruto reassured. The little girl dried her eyes and smiled. Thank you, Oni-san. I really needed that. Naruto gives her a smile. No problem, kid. Now hurry up and get to heaven. The little girl gained a determined look. You got it, Oni-san. See you later, she said, running off in the distance. You know, we've been seeing more and more ghosts lately, Ichigo stated. Naruto gave Ichigo a look. Ichigo blinked. What? Nothing, it's just, you've been quiet this whole time. I forgot you were there, Naruto stated sheepishly. Ichigo sighed. If we weren't twins, I'd swear we aren't related. Kurosaki Clinic. Ichigo unlocks the door. Whoa! Ichigo was interrupted by a foot smashes into his face, sending him flying. Naruto stand back, observing the display. Naruto whistled. Hey Otu-san, I think you set a new record. That was like 40 feet. And I see you got the right one this time. Ichigo jumps up and run back into the house. Ichigo hops in the air and deliver an aerial kick to his dad's stomach, sending him sailing to wall, hitting it with a loud crack. What the hell's wrong with you? Who greets their son with a kick to the face. Ichigo yelled. Ishin runs to giant poster on the wall with a picture of Naruto's mother on it. Masaki-chan, you see how our treats me with such disdain. Anime tears running down his eyes. Ichigo scowled. I don't feel like dealing with this. Oi, Naruto, let's go upstairs, Ichigo said before walking up the stairs. Naruto grinned. Well, sorry dad, Ichigo, just frustrated because we've been seeing more ghosts on the way home. Catch you later. Yuzu looked at Karen curiously. What was that all about? Said Yuzu, stirring miso soup in a pot. Karen flips a page of her manga. I have no clue. Kurosaki Clinic. Naruto and Ichigo's room. Naruto walking towards his room hears a shout of burglar. Naruto quickens his pace and opens his door, seeing something completely unexpected. There right in front of him was his brother and a girl who was dressed as a samurai. Hey Ichigo, what's going on? Who is that girl? Naruto exclaimed. Ichigo frowned. I don't know, but I think she's a robber. Just look how weird she's dressed. Examining the girl, Naruto see that she has shoulder-length black hair with a large coming over her face and dark black orbs. Her outfit consists of a black hakama pants and a black kimono tied together with an obi. All in all, should look like some girl cosplaying as a samurai. The girl looked at them in shock. You can see me, she said in disbelief. A tick mark appears on Ichigo's forehead. Of course we can see. You're right in front of us. Ichigo all but yelled. The girl turned her head in contemplation. They're just normal humans, it should be impossible for them to see Shinigami. A perplexed look appears on Naruto's face. Shinigami. As in a death god. Naruto asked the so-called burglar. The girl closed her eyes to weigh her options. On one hand she could leave them in the dark, on the other hand she could explain what Shinigami was. Seeing as both of them can see her means that both of them are spiritually aware, and it could be potentially dangerous to leave them unaware of the full situation at hand. The girl gained a serious look and took a deep breath. My name is Rukia Kuchiki. And I'm what is known as Shinigami or Death God, either one will do. A Shinigami's job is to ferry the souls of the living to the Sirite, or what you humans call heaven, by performing a technique called Kanso. This performed by tapping the forehead with the butt of our sword. In the Sirite there is a group known as the Gote 13, they are led by 13 different captains and are said to be incredibly powerful, but over them is the Saotaicho, said to be the strongest Shinigami in existence. This isn't all. Shinigamis have a second job, the elimination of monsters called hollows. Hollows are evil spirits who have been overcome by negative emotions and feast on the souls of the innocents to sustain their selves. That's why we Shinigami are sent to destroy them, to prevent something like that from occurring. Rukia looked up into their face to gauge their response. Are you crazy? There's is no way me or Naruto would belly. Ichigo was interrupted by the sound of Naruto's voice. Stars appeared in Naruto's eyes as he went up closer to Rukia to get a better look. Wow, are you like some kind of superhero or something? Can you fly? Can you shoot lasers out of your eyes? A light bulb appears above Naruto's head. I know. You can use ninjutsu just like Otorin can. Naruto exclaims. Ichigo sighs. Only you, Naruto. Only you. Ichigo sends a glare at the girl. I call bullshit. I don't believe you for a second. Ichigo said, pointing to her. Door opens. Ichigo, can you and Naruto stop making such a ruckus? Ichigo stared at his father. Only me and Naruto. Otu-san, you're telling me you don't see anyone else in the room? Ichigo questioned his father. Isshin gave his son a blank look. Am I supposed to? Anyway, just keep the noise down, Isshin said before slamming the door. Ichigo looked back at Rukia. Okay. I believe you, but why are you here? Ichigo asked the Shinigami. Rukia pulls out a cell phone. That's the thing. I was following the presence of a hollow around this area, but it suddenly disappeared. Rukia was about to continue, but a piercing scream interrupted the conversation. Oh. Ichigo. Naruto. Help. Something just attacked Otu-san. Karen screamed. Rukia looked down at her cell phone. It's the hollow. You guys stay up here. It's too dangerous for mere humans, Rukia stated. Ignoring Rukia, Naruto runs out the door. Ichigo following him turns back and screamed. You think we're just going to sit around and let some monster attack our family without fighting? Naruto shook his head in agreement. I with Ichigo all the way. If this thing thinks it can attack us without a fight, then it has another thing coming. Both he and Ichigo grab a baseball bat respectively. Rukia sighed. I can't let you both do this. Pointing a finger at them, Rukia shouts, Bakudo Sho, Sai, way of binding one, restrain. Immediately Naruto and Ichigo's locked up and they couldn't move. Let us go, can't you see we have to help our family? Ichigo yelled. As the twin tried in vain to regain control over their body, Rukia scoffed, it's impossible for you to break your bindings. Just give you. Rukia eyes widen in shock as Naruto started to rise to his feet, Ichigo not far behind. They're just normal humans, how can they be fighting a Kido spell? Even if it's the weakest, it should be impossible. Rukia thought to herself. Ah, that's better. Ichigo, let's go. Naruto shouts as he and Ichigo get back to their feet and run out of the house. Wait, don't go out there, Rukia shouted following them outside. Naruto and Ichigo's eyes darted around trying to locate the creature that attacking them. When their eyes actually find it, they wished they hadn't. It was at least 20 feet tall and had a long muscled grotesque body with a skull-like mask on its face. The hollow's eyes locks on them and lets out a piercing roar. RWAAAAAAARRRRRRRRRRR. Naruto and Ichigo take a step back, fear overcoming them. I knew she said they were monster but I didn't expect them to be like this. Naruto said fearfully. Ichigo nodded his head in agreement. This is unreal. Naruto examines the monster and sees a figure in its hand. Close examination of the figure identifies it as being Yuzu. Naruto screamed at his brother, Ichigo. It's got Yuzu. Look at its hand. Ichigo looks at the monster holding his sister, lets out a battle cry and begins running straight for it. His anger blinded him from the claw coming straight for him. Naruto and Rukia catches the action and begins to running after him. Just as it was about to hit him, Naruto and Rukia push him out the way. Naruto screams in agony as his body receives the brunt of the attack and Rukia's right arm is broken in multiple places. Naruto's body suddenly slumps and he falls over. Rukia checks his PLSE with her good, doesn't find none. Ichigo in shock asked, Is going to be okay? Bile beginning to rise in his throat. Rukia turned her head. Do you want to save your family? The question broke Ichigo out of his stupor. What? I said, do you want to save your? Rukia repeated herself. Ichigo looked at her in desperation. Yes, I'll do anything to save them. Just tell me what I need to do. Ichigo pleaded. Rukia holds up her sword. Stab yourself through the heart with my Zanpakuto, it will transform you into a Shinigami. There's a chance you might die. Are you still sure of this? Rukia questioned. Ichigo nods his head and without hesitation thrust the blade through heart. A blinding overtakes everything. Rukia closes her eyes because the light was too blinding. Opening her eyes, she is shocked to see Ichigo in Shinigami uniform with a huge Zanpakuto hefted over his shoulders. I've never seen a Zanpakuto that big before and his Reiatsu is off the charts. Rukia thought to herself. Unseen by both of them, some of the energy started to trail being absorbed by Naruto's body. Unknown. Naruto opens eyes. Where am I? Naruto says as he looked around. Looking up, there was not a cloud in the. He looked down, he appeared to be standing on top of some kind of platform. Behind was a weird building that had an hour's glass on it. Naruto runs to the edge and almost fell over it. Looking down, all Naruto saw was the blue of the ocean. It seems you've finally arrived. Me and $% and asterisk have been waited forever for you to show up, a voice said. Naruto quickly turns around and is greeted by a man in his early 20s with black spiky hair that went in all directions. He was wearing an orange GI with a blue undershirt and blue and orange boots. He also wore blue wristbands and his body was really toned as ripping muscle was shown all over him. Who are you? Naruto asked the strange dressing man. The man gave a cheery laugh. My name's Asterisk and %, and I'm your Zanpakuto spirit. Naruto gave him a puzzled look. I didn't catch your name, and my what? The spirit head leans to the side. It seems you're not ready to hear our names yet. Just call me Gohan for the moment. As for your other question, I am a spirit that resides in your Zanpakuto, turning you into a Shinigami like that girl. Naruto's eyes sparkled. So, I got superpowers now. Gohan shrugged. Pretty much. Suddenly his eyes became seriously. Do you want to save your family? Gohan asked as a screen appeared behind him showing Ichigo fighting the hollow. Naruto looked surprised. Ichigo has powers too. But how? Naruto questioned. Gohan elaborated. He received them from that girl Shinigami after it attacked you. Now answer my question, are you willing to do anything for your family? Resolve appeared in Naruto's eyes. Yes. I willing to anything, even fight the devil himself. Naruto roared with conviction. Gohan smiled. Yep, $% and going to like this kid, I can tell. Grab my hand. I will lend you my strength. Just never give up on your beliefs. Naruto nodded his head in determination and grabs his hand. Naruto body goes hot as unimaginable power courses through his veins, then everything goes white. Ichigo is engaging the hollow when a sudden spike of Reiatsu cause him to turn around. Ichigo eyes widen at what he's seeing. Following Ichigo's gaze, Rukia turns around and becomes as equally shocked as Ichigo. For standing behind them was Naruto, as he was a Shinigami. Naruto grabs the huge broadsword off his back and holds it up in front of his face, examining his blade. Rukia stares at him in shock. His Reiatsu levels are huge, even more than his brother's. Rukia thought. Taking attention away from his blade, he looks up to see Ichigo and Rukia worse for wear staring at him. take a rest guys, I'll handle this. Naruto said as he begins walking towards the hollow. Ichigo and Rukia could only shake their heads as Naruto stops right in front of the hollow. RRRRRWWWWAAARRR. The hollow roared. Naruto looked seemingly unaffected at the hollow. Is that all? Naruto said blankly. The hollow growled and sent a claw at Naruto. Rukia seeing shouted, Naruto, look out. Naruto caught the claw easily in his left hand, pushed it back. It's my turn now, let's see how do now that we're on an even playing field. Naruto suddenly blurred out of existence and appeared behind the hollow with his sword still outstretched. The hollow roared as its body burst into spirit particles. Naruto turned around and sent Ichigo and Rukia a foxy grin, that's game. Naruto cracked one eye open only to come before a bright light. Quickly shutting due to the burning sensation, Naruto couldn't help but wonder. Where am I? I see you're finally up. Man, I thought you'd sleep forever, said a voice Naruto recognized as Gohan's. Naruto jumped 10 feet in the air. Oi, Goran, don't sneak up on me like that, you could get yourself hurt. Naruto said with conviction in his voice as if he could hurt the spirit. Yeah right XD. Gohan. Naruto shot a puzzled look and tilted his head to the side. My name's Gohan. Say it with me. Gohan. Gohan replied. Whatever. So, Gohan, was it? Gohan nodded his head. What am I doing here again? Naruto said, recognizing his surroundings. Do you remember what happened before you met me, Naruto? Gohan questioned. Naruto vigorously nods his head. Of course I do. That weird monster attacked me and I thought I was gonna die until I met you and I became a superhero and... Whoa, slow down there Naruto. I could barely understand a word you said just now, but yes you did receive Shinigami powers. But, I have some bad news. Naruto suddenly adopted an serious look. What's wrong? Naruto said, with poorly veiled nervousness in his eyes. Am I dead? Please tell me I'm not dead. While I was able to save your life, I was unable to heal your body completely. The strain your body went through with not only being attacked by a hollow but having your soul ripped from your body has caused it to shut down. Gohan said with conviction in his voice. Naruto gulped nervously. For how long? He didn't want to be asleep his whole life, not after getting these super cool Reaper powers. How else was he going to rub his way better powers into Ichigo's face? This is just a guess. But factoring in all that happened, I would have to say at least 2 weeks. Gohan said as if he was talking about the weather. 2 weeks. You can't be serious, Naruto said looking at Gohan to see if he was pulling his leg or something. Gohan nodded his head in confirmation. Afraid so. Don't worry though, because I got something special planned for you, Gohan said with a grin on his face. Instantly Naruto's fears were wiped away by his ever-growing curiosity. Really? What is it? Naruto asked, the suspense already killing him, or so it felt like. For the next 2 months you will be learning 3 techniques that will take you far in your life. So be prepared. Naruto's eyes shined in excitement. Wait till Ichigo sees me coming back with my Super Reaper powers. I so kick ass. Naruto continued his rant before something clicked with him. Wait, 2 months? I thought you said I would only be in a coma for 2 weeks. Naruto gave him a confused look. Gohan rubbed the back of his in embarrassment and chuckled nervously. Well, time works differently in here than it does out here. 1 week in the real world is equal to 1 month in here. Get it? Naruto's sweat dropped. Yeah, that makes sense. Pretty simple when you think about it. Okay, no more wasting time, let's get started. Gohan was interrupted by the simultaneous roars that came from their stomachs. Well, before that, let's get something to eat. How's that sound? Sounds like a plan, Naruto said grinning. Several hours later, Naruto and Gohan were surrounded by mountains of empty plates and bowls. Naruto pats his stomach. Ah, that hits the spot. Let's go start my training now, Go-sensei. Dabayo, determination blazing in his azure orbs. Gohan stood up and smiled at Naruto's enthusiasm. This kid. He's going to be truly great someday. I can feel it. Putting 2 fingers on his head, Gohan signaled Naruto to come closer. Naruto grabbed onto Gohan's shoulder. Okay Naruto, hold on because this going to be a bumpy ride. Gohan said. Naruto utterly looked at him in confusion. What do you mean? In a flash they were gone, the only evidence of them being there was the empty bowls and plates. Unknown clearing. Two figures suddenly appeared in a clearing, one standing rubbing the back of his head nervously and the other throwing up his lunch. Sorry about that Naruto. I've forgot what's it's like for first-timers. Naruto wipes his mouth. That's okay as long as you teach me that move you just did, besides you chucking my lunch, it was pretty cool. Naruto said, excitement dancing in his eyes. Gohan shuddered a little. Man, nothing phases this kid. He's so much like me it's scary. Gohan shook his head. No, you're not ready for that move yet. Naruto face faulted, anime tears streaming from his eyes. Gohan's eyes widen. I said you weren't ready, I never said I wouldn't teach you it one day. Seeing Naruto's still depressed, the first move I gonna teach is pretty awesome by itself. Do you want to see a demonstration? Instantly forgetting his troubles, Naruto shakes his in excitement, waiting impatiently at what Gohan was going to show him. All Naruto knew it was going to be epic. Gohan closes his eyes and starts to concentrate. Okay, here we go. Gohan exhales and begins to crouch his form. His left leg extended forward while his right leg extended back. Gohan holds his hands in a cup position behind his back and begins to chant, Ka. Me. Ha. Me. Naruto watched in fascination and anticipation as a ball of Reiatsu began to form in Gohan's hand before its light completely engulfed them. Charging the ball to its breaking point, Gohan throws his hands forward and shouted. Ha! Gohan yelled as a huge wave of Reiatsu burst forth from his hands. The concentration blue beam of Reiatsu approximately 4 feet in length and width. Naruto closed his eyes as the world is overtaken in a blue-white glow. Naruto cracked open his eye to observe the damage caused by the Reiatsu beam. Naruto couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the amount of damage the super awesome beam caused. There was huge indentation in the ground that seemed to stretch on for miles. Naruto turns back and stares at Gohan. Wide-eyed, Gohan, grinning in satisfaction, noticed Naruto's astonished look only caused the grin to widen, and that was the first move you will learn. It's called the Kamehameha, a move of total devastation that destroys anything in its way, theoretically at least. Okay, all I do is gather my energy into my hands and shoot it off right. Sounds easy enough seeing as I's easily done it against that monster. Here I go, Naruto said confidently, getting in the same position as Gohan did earlier. Naruto attempts to use the same move as his sensei. Naruto begins the chant, Ka. Me. Ha. Me. Naruto throws his hands forward and shots, Ha. Ne. Oi. Go sensei, why didn't the technique work? I'm sure I did it the same way you did. The blonde teen questioned his sensei. Gohan chuckled lowly. Yes, you did it right, but you are missing one key thing. You don't know how to use or control your energy. Naruto looked flabbergasted, but before when I fought that monster I was using that energy you called Reiatsu as easy as breathing. Why can't I do it now? When you first used that energy I was the one controlling it, so it may have seemed completely natural to you when actually it was not. Naruto blinked in confusion. So basically you're saying that the total fight of me outclassing that monster was all because of your influence, and without you controlling my power I would have been wasted. Gohan shrugged. Pretty much. Naruto pouted. Well, doesn't that suck ass? Well, anyway, I want you sit down in meditative position and search for inner core. Gohan. My inner core. What does he mean? The blonde boy contemplated. What I mean is you should sit down and get into a meditative stance and try to search for your Reiatsu or spiritual pressure to make it easier. I wish I can help you activate this, but this is something someone can only learn on their own. But that doesn't, I can't give you advice though. Naruto, surprisingly, nods his head in understanding. K. Well, can you telephone me what it will feel like when I gain access to my powers? It will feel as you are floating in water that wraps around your body, acting as a warm blanket and as if you were invincible. Gohan said knowingly. I'll get to it, Go-sensei. With this, I'm one more step closer to Hokage. Naruto said, but suddenly he froze. Why did he just say that? What does Hokage even mean? As Naruto was pondering this, Gohan's eyes narrowed. Could he be awakening his past memories? No, it's too early for that. He's not ready to accept his past life yet. He continued to stare at Naruto. I fear that the day he remembers is the day he destroys himself. Several hours later, sweat poured from Naruto's brow as he tries to pull out his Reiatsu. Go-sensei must been lying to him, because this was hard as hell. Naruto, impatient for not being able to pull out his energy, began to reach his boil point. He was about to scream his head off until he felt something weird. He felt something inside him being contained by some type of barrier or something. Mentally going closer to where he felt the feeling, it continuously grew stronger and stronger. This must be my power. But how do I unlock it? Giving this a mental push, Naruto waited to see what will happen. Waited and waited and waited some more. Why the hell is nothing happening? Naruto was interrupted of his monologue by the dam holding all his power back suddenly burst open, overflowing him with energy. Snapping his eyes open and hopping to his feet, Naruto looks as his body as the liquid-like energy makes a cloak around his form. Focusing the energy towards his hands, Naruto began chanting, "Okay, here we go. Ka, me, ha." A smile grows on Naruto's face as he feels and sees the light of the ball becoming bigger. Me, beginning to lose control of his newfound energy, Naruto thrusted his hands forward and shouted, "H-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-A." A thin blue wave of Reiatsu shoots forward and carves an indentation in the ground. Naruto dropped his stance and observed the damage of his Kamehameha. A frown came to his face when he saw that his beam was way more thinner than his sensei's. That was a good job, Naruto. That was better than when I first did it. Naruto smirked. So, what's next? If he got that one down so fast, how hard could the next one be? Gohan gave a smile that creeped Naruto out. Next is the Kaioken. The past 2 months have been brutal. Go-sensei worked him the bone with exercises that shouldn't be possible even with Reaper powers. He made him do push-ups with huge rocks his back, made him wear really heavy training weights, and don't get him started on climbing that mountain with 2 boulders weighing him down. Naruto knew one thing about his sensei. He was fucking crazy, but the most insane thing is Naruto loved it. The feeling of his muscles burning, his energy being depleted, his body giving out on itself. Naruto didn't why, but it was if he was born to fight, born to be a warrior. Naruto, we have at least one day here before it's time for you to wake up. Really, time sure flies by when you're being worked to death. Gohan rubbed his head sheepishly before suddenly became serious. There's only one thing left to do, he said, giving Naruto a cold look. A little unnerved, Naruto asked, really? What is? He was interrupted by his senses telling him raise his arm. He was shocked to find that he was blocking a fist, not just any fist, it was Gohan's. Sensei, what are you doing? Naruto asked. At this moment I am not your sensei, or even your friend for the matter. I am your enemy. Come at me with the will to kill, use everything I taught you, because if fail, you will never see your friends and family again. Gohan disappeared and reappeared at his original position. This is your final test. Remember, attack with everything or you will die. Naruto began shivering. You know, I should be really scared, because at this moment I could really die, but I can't help but feel really excited. He could feel his heart pounding in his chest, electricity flowing in his veins, feeling him with anticipation. Naruto settled in a stance, waiting for Gohan to charge forward. Gohan smiled inwardly, spoken like a true Saiyan. These were his last thoughts before he charged Naruto. Who will win this fight? Tune in to find out on the next episode. Dragon Ball, Kurosaki Naruto, Soul of a Warrior. Gohan sped across the earth, shortening the distance between him and his charge. Getting close, he threw a punch, only to be stopped by a punch from Naruto. Seeing themselves in a stalemate, Gohan dropped to the ground and did a spin kick, knocking Naruto down. Naruto, not having a chance to gain his bearings, suddenly found Gohan's hands latched to his lower legs. Without any effort, Gohan began to spin himself in Naruto's body rapidly in a way that resembled a tornado. With a grunt, Gohan yelled, "Ryu Suro, Dragon Throw," sending Naruto flying into a cliff. A loud boom is heard as dust and debris began to obscure Gohan's view. Gohan's darted all around the smokescreen as he cannot make out where Naruto was. Naruto, using dust for cover, spit out some blood. "Oh, you want to play like that, Go-sensei? Well, bring it on then." Blue Reiatsu covered his form before it propelled him out of the cliff head, sending him in the direction of Gohan. Gohan eyes widen as a fist impacted with his gut, fast. Gohan is sent rocketing back at a fast pace. Naruto, on his trail, delivered a punch to his ribs and then uppercut Gohan in the air. Naruto blurred out of existence and reappeared directly over Gohan and rained down on him with multiple blows, sending sailing to the ground. "I can't play around anymore. He's tougher than I thought. I'm not done yet," Naruto screamed as Reiatsu covered his form. Naruto pushed himself to go higher in the air until he reached his peak. "Here we go." Naruto angled his body facing downward and blasted in the direction of Gohan's falling body. Naruto started to twirl his body rapidly, making look like a hurricane, putting more power into as he closed the distance between him and his sensei. The hurricane seemed to roar as it continuously grew closer to Gohan's body, bracing himself for impact. Gohan was able to make out voice over the howls of the deadly maelstrom heading his way. Ryusei Kuroshu, falling star crash. Naruto screamed as his foot crashed down on Gohan's stomach. A loud boom is heard as Gohan's body made contact with the ground. Smoke began to rise into the sky like a volcano that just erupted. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the scene. Gohan-sensei was stronger than that. Right. Not bad. Naruto eyes widen in surprise as he glanced over his shoulder and saw his sensei standing right behind him with his back towards him. Naruto eyes widen even more when he saw that his sensei wasn't even slightly hurt. He packed quite a wallop in that combo. "Say, Naruto." Gohan turned his head slightly to the side, giving Naruto a piercing gaze. "Let's stop holding back." "Okay." Naruto shook his head in acknowledgement. "Right." Naruto gritted his teeth and flexed his muscles in concentration. Grr. Kaioken. Red Reiatsu burst around his form, enveloping him in a fiery inferno before it calmed down to a red haze surrounding his entire body. Flickers of red dance in his eyes, as he gazed at his teacher with newfound determination. "I will defeat you, sensei." Naruto blurred out of existence and appeared behind his sensei. "You can count on it, Datbeo." Naruto shouted as he threw a punch to the back of his sensei's head. Gohan, sensing it coming, leaned his head to the side, narrowly missing the blow, and sent a kick towards Naruto's head. Naruto blocked the kick with his forearm and began sending blows at Gohan at supersonic speed. Gohan, following Naruto's example, begins to do the same thing. Naruto and Gohan became blurs as they dashed around the clearing. Sonic booms are heard as their fists connect together. Naruto looked to have multiple fists as he continued to try to rain down blows on Gohan, only for Gohan to be doing the same, albeit better. Naruto suddenly disappeared and reappeared on the ground, staring up at his sensei, sweat pouring down his face as he slightly breathes in exertion. "Damn it, I really burning my energy fast and sensei doesn't even look tired. I got to step this up before I end up losing." Naruto strained his muscles and began concentrating, searching for the reservoir of his energy. Finding it, Naruto yelled, "Kaioken 2x." Even more red Reiatsu surrounded him in a blazing maelstrom as his power shot through the roof. Time for round 2. Naruto blurred towards his sensei and proceeded to enter in a high-speed fight with him. To the normal eye, nothing could be seen but loud booms that sounded like thunderclaps could be heard, but to a warrior, two figures could be seen darting around the sky, continuously crashing into each other, one trying to dominate the other. "Man." Naruto ducked a fist thrown at his face and counter with a kick to his ribs. "Go-sensei is tougher than I thought." Gohan used his hand to push Naruto's leg down and delivered a punch to his gut. Naruto eyes widened as pain flared in his stomach. Stumbling back, Naruto spat blood out his mouth and clutched his stomach. "Is that it?" Those shocked Naruto out of his pain as look up to see his sensei's disappointed gaze. "Is this the true extent of your power?" Gohan blurred towards Naruto and delivered a kick to his prone form, sending him sprawling across the plains, leaving skid marks in his wake. "Are you really this weak? Did I waste 2 months training you for nothing? Come on, Naruto, show me your true power." Naruto stood back on his feet, his hair blocking his eyes from being shown. Does your family and friends mean that little to you? Find no answer then. Well, prepare to die. Powerful waves of Reiatsu began to flow of Gohan, form surrounded like a blue halo. Fear etched into Naruto's heart as he felt his sensei's power steadily rise. Am I truly as weak as Gohan? Sensei says. Have I truly been wasting my time here for the last 2 months training? Gohan braced himself to blast off towards Naruto's still form. As Naruto was wallowing in his depression, he suddenly heard a voice. Naru.kun. W. K. Up. We. Nay. Ed. Y. O. U. I. Need. U. Naruto suddenly snapped out of his depressive state. Is that Orihime? Plural. Aya. Say. Naru. Kun. Wa. K. Up. I. Lo. Y. O. U. Fig. Ht. Th. Is. I. Bell. I have. In. U. Shish. She believes in me. Flashes of Orihime began to run through his head, then of his family and his friends, Ori-chan, Suki-chan, Ichigo, Yu-chan, Karen-chan, Tu-san, Keigo, Mizuhiro, Chad, and even you, Rukia. I can't let you know I won't let you down. I refuse to give up. Naruto's eyes began to glow with azure light and only continued to grow brighter. Here I come. Gohan pushed off the ground into the direction of Naruto, fist held back ready to swing. Just as his fist was about to make contact, Naruto held a palm in front of his face and yelled, Kaioken 3x. Naruto caught Gohan's power emblazoned fist as their energy clashed into each other. Gohan's Reiatsu pushed Naruto's body back, while Naruto's fought to resist it. An explosion is heard as their energies reach critical, sending both them flying in opposite directions. Naruto panted as he struggled to get his body to stand up. Gohan also struggled slightly less to stand back up on his feet. Both looked at each other as they tried to get desperately needed air into their systems. Even if my power is severely limited, he's still managing to fight me off. Hey, I'm gonna love fighting him when he gets strong enough to release our true power. Plus, $% power along with it, he's going to be a real powerhouse. Man, I'm already getting excited. Turning his attention towards his charge, Gohan said, let's finish this. Crouching down into a stance, Gohan cupped his hands behind his back and began chanting, Ka. Me. Naruto, following in his sensei's footsteps, copied his sensei's movements and began chanting with him, Ha. Me. They both threw their hands forward at the same time and screamed, Ha. The two blue beams crashed into each other and began fighting for dominance. Gohan kept a steady pace of Reiatsu in his own wave and began to overpower Naruto's own. Naruto, seeing his wave beginning to loose, began to harden his resolve. I won't lose. I won't lose. Mustering all the power he had left, Naruto pushed it towards his hands and led a bone-shattering scream, Ha! Naruto wave began to overtake his sensei's, combining with it sending a double-size wave toward Gohan. Gohan's eyes widen as he braced himself to be hit by the powerful attack. A blinding light overtook everything as the wave made contact with his body. Naruto panted in extreme exhaustion as he watched the light die down and the smoke billowing in the air. The smoke began to clear away and Gohan's can be made out. He's clutching his right arm as blood poured down it. His GI showed plenty of wear and tear and his right eye was narrowed in pain. Naruto's eyes widen in shock. Sensei, you're still up. After that, what does it take to take you down? A dragon with mystical powers or something? Gohan chuckled. Hee, you did good, Naruto. But you're now out of energy while I have just enough to finish this. Blue Reiatsu covered his form as he proceeded to blast towards Naruto's body. What do I do? What do I do? I have no energy left. I don't have any moves that require no enter. Sudden realization hits Naruto. There's that move but I haven't even mastered it yet. It looks like I don't have a choice, I have to use it. But first I need to preoccupy Go-sensei for a while. I get incomplete and I have just the move. Gohan closed in on Naruto and threw his fist in for a strike, but was stopped by Naruto closing his eyes and putting his fingers in front of his face and yelled, Taiyo Furia, Solar Flare. A light as bright as the sun itself scorched retinas, stopping him in his tracks, clutching his eyes in pure agony. This is my only chance. Naruto held both his hands into the air and closed his eyes. Plants, ocean, sky, everyone please share some of your energy with me. Blue particles of light began to gather in his hand, forming a ball in his outstretched hands. It's coming. The finish forming, and Naruto brings his hands down and stared at the ball floating inches above his hands. It was smaller than a basketball but bigger than a dodgeball. Naruto braced himself to dash towards his sensei, who was still trying to stop the pain in his eyes. Determination filled Naruto's eyes once again. I can do this. I can do this. Naruto blasted forward, the ball of light being held to the side as he made his way over to his sensei. Gohan's eyes cleared up just as Naruto was inches away from him with the glowing sphere. His eyes widened. Time seemed to slow down as the ball rapidly descended towards Gohan's gut, right before the ball hit Gohan. Naruto yelled, "Here's my true power, sensei. Take this. Seirei Bomu, spirit bomb." The orb of energy plowed its way into Gohan's body, overtaken it in a brilliant glow before rocketing it off before it detonated, causing even more damage. Smoke and dust billowed in the air as the blast subsided. Naruto panted in exertion, a swell of pride building up in him. I pant, 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 it. The smoke cleared and Gohan, still smoking body as seen on the ground. Gohan struggled to get to his feet and proceed to limp into Naruto's direction. Naruto eyes widen in awe and slightly fear. He's still up, even after the fucking spirit bomb. What is he, a man of steel? Standing 10 feet in front of Naruto, Gohan smiled. Like you, Naruto, I'm barely standing myself. That last attack of yours took too much out of me. You did well, even when the going got tough, you didn't give up. So, congratulations, you passed. Gohan closed his eyes, giving Naruto a double-eye smile. Naruto began crying tears of joy. I did it. I did it. I did it. Naruto suddenly stopped his victory dance as an extreme exhaustion set in. The world around them began to burst into particles as Naruto steady grew tired. Gohan observed his surroundings in curiosity. It would appear our time is up here. Well, see you next time, Naruto, and remember I will always be there for you because I'm part of you and you're part of me. This was the last thing Naruto heard as his world was encompassed in light. Naruto yawned and blinked. Where am I? Last thing I remember was beating Sensei in a fight, then a bright white light. Hey, that rhymes. Fight, bright, white, light. I'm a fucking beast. Datbeo. A crushing force rammed into Naruto as he felt arms wrap around his form and tears dampening his shirt. Naruto-kun. You're awake, I was so worried. Looking down and seeing a familiar set of light blue eyes. Ori-chan. What's wrong? It just that I heard about why your accident. IWW was so scared, it thought you would. N never wake you up again. Orihime said in between her sobs. Naruto slightly frowned, wrapping his own arms around her. Naruto pulled her close, rocking her back and forth. SSH. I'm here now, Ori-chan. I'm here now. For the next 5 minutes, Orihime continued to sob into Naruto's shoulder before she calmed down. Looking into his eyes, he could see that they were red and puffy and she had dry tear marks on her face. Naruto leaned forward and brushed her hair out of her face. Don't let tears mar such a beautiful face, Ori-chan. Orihime's face became red as she heard what Naruto said. It didn't help the matter, he was still cupping her face. Naruto leaned down and pressed a chaste kiss on her forehead, causing her to light up like a Christmas tree. This only made Naruto smile. You know, Orihime. Why does such a cute girl not have a boyfriend? It's because the boy I like only sees me as a friend. He doesn't even know that I like him. Orihime replied, melancholy seeping through her voice. Naruto growled, who is this oblivious Tem and how can he not see your feelings for him? He's probably a baka, isn't he? Anger clearly in Naruto's eyes. Orihime had to stifle aloud at Naruto's comment. He just threatened his own well-being. Anyone would laugh at that. Naruto sighed. Do I at least know him? Orihime nodded, red once again returning to her face. So I know this person. Is it Keigo? He's pretty dense. Naruto looked at her expectantly. Orihime shook her head. Is it that pretty boy or you? No, Chad, no, Mikuro, no, you know you're still laying on me in the bed and you don't care. And no. A blush marred her face once again. Naruto racked his brain for any ideas at who the boy could be, until sudden realization hit him. I know who it is now. It's so easy once you put all the clues together. Who is it? Orihime asked, fear hidden in her voice. Naruto looked at her confidently. Ichigo. Orihime blinked in confusion, not expecting that answer in the slightest. Why Kurosaki-kun? I've seen you in class giving glances at Ichigo, always blush when you talk to him, and he's the only boy that you willing to hang out with, even though you literally have a legion of boys at school. I have a legion of fanboys. You didn't know. You're kind of oblivious sometimes, Ori-chan. Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black XD? Orihime smiled sheepishly and rubbed the back of her head. Maybe. So how long have you liked my bro anyway? Naruto said nonchalantly. Nay, I don't like Kurosaki-kun. But all those things, I'd just said can't be coincidences. In reality they weren't. Naruto just overlooked some rather minor details. Like the fact that his desk is right beside Ichigo's, or when she's talking to Ichigo he's also there, or finally Ichigo always hangs out with Naruto. You have to be blind or Naruto to not put it together. I'll make you a deal, Naruto-kun. I'll give you a hint of who he is, and if you figure it out I'll treat you to my special ramen. Naruto looked at her dead serious. If this doesn't work out with that guy, I'm definitely marrying you, Orihime. Datbeo. I love your ramen almost as much as I love you. Naruto shouted as he began to have daydreams of eating God's gift to mankind. Orihime's face turned cherry red. Oh my Kami, oh my Kami, oh my Kami, he said he loves me, even if he said it just for the ramen. It's okay to dream, isn't? Kurosaki Orihime has a ring to it. Orihime in her own little fantasy world also began to daydream, face steadily growing redder by the second. Snapping out of his fantasies, but also filing them away for later, Naruto turned his attention back to his orange-haired friend. So, Ori-chan. What's the hint? Naruto asked, excitement gleaming in his eyes at the prospect of learning something about the boy who's stolen his friend's heart. Orihime snapped out her own dreams at the question. Wah. Oh, the hint. Here it is. Are you ready? Naruto nodded. Orihime exhaled. The hint is crystal and gold make up his attributes. Naruto looked confused. That makes no sense. Give me an easier hint. Naruto all but yelled. Orihime giggled at his outburst. If it was easy then there's no use giving you a hint, Naruto-kun. Naruto huffed. Fine, Ori-chan. You're lucky you're cute, especially with that orange hair of yours. Naruto propped his forehead on hers as he stared directly into her eyes, not noticing her reddening face. As you know, orange is my favorite color. I know. Naruto pulled back and growled. Do you know how irritating it is that one of your parents has orange hair and the other has black, but for some Kami-forsaken reason you were born with blonde hair that no one knows where it came from? Ichigo. That Tem doesn't know how lucky he is. Anyo, Naruto-kun. Wouldn't calling Ichigo a Tem make you one too, seeing that you are twins? Naruto shrugged. Details. Speaking of Ichigo, where is he anyway? He said he had to do some errands and he'll be back later. Really now? Somewhere in Karakura Forest. GRRRRRGGGHHHH. Was the screech of a dying hollow as it burst into spirit particles. Ichigo is seen behind it wearing his Shinigami uniform and sword propped against his shoulders, a scowl present on his face. That's seventh one this day. When is Naruto going to wake up so I can get some downtime? This seems like something he would love to do. Stop your complaining and get to work. There's another hollow in the vicinity. I don't pay you to stand around, shouted the small form of Rukia. Ichigo eye twitched as a vein pulsated on his head. Says the one not doing anything. And you don't pay me at all. You crazy woman. Who you callin' crazy, Ichibaka, idiot strawberry? What you call me, you crazy Chibigami, portmanteau of Chibi and Shinigami? A cold chill ran down Ichigo's spine as he felt he said something he shouldn't have said. I'll kill you, you Tem. Hado 33. Sokatsui, way of destruction. Blue flame crashdown. A azure flame of pure death rocketed over towards Ichigo form, hitting him with the force of a truck. causing his body to impact with a tree. Rukia huffed in exhaustion as a smile broke out over her face. That should teach you the golden rule. Ichigo groaned in pain. What golden rule, oh great Rukia? Ichigo retorted sarcastically. Rukia did a flying kick and nailed Ichigo right in the gut. Don't fuck with me. Naruto. Hurry up and wake your ass up. I don't know how long I can take this. Naruto sneezed. Someone must be talking about me. I wonder if it's a girl. Next day, after saying goodbye to his family, Naruto ran towards his school. He felt like the energizing bunny, he can keep going and going. Arriving at the school and proceeding to go to his class, he explained the bullshit reason why he's been out for the past 2 weeks. 1 week later lunch. Seriously. Food poisoning. What do you take us for? Keigo said with disbelief in his eyes. Yeah Naruto, it does sound kinda far-fetched. It's true, it made me really weak, it even put me in a 2-week coma. Ask Orihime for confirmation because she visited me unlike you inconsiderate teams. Keigo chuckled sheepishly, it kinda slipped my mind. Yeah, mine too. Naruto sighed, where is my brother anyway? He's on the roof with that new girl. If you ask me I think they're in a relationship with each other. Mizuhiro said while snickering. Well this something I have to see for myself. See you guys later. And with that, Naruto bolted off towards the roof. Naruto went up to the roof and saw a strange sight. It was Rukia, who seemed to be showing Ichigo diagrams that looked to been drawn by a 3-year-old. Hey Ruki-chan, Ichigo, what you doin'? Naruto said in a sing-song voice. Unknown dimension. A young girl of Hispanic descent, wearing a pink dress over a white t-shirt, a pink bow present in her long straight black hair, her warm onyx eyes suddenly grew cold. Whoever said my words? Bet you're $1 I'm coming for your F. $$ and G life. Who the F *#K is censoring my thoughts? God D %NU Walt Disney, even if you're dead, I'd find some way to F. $% and G kill you. That's a Fireside Girl's promise. Heaven in unknown dimension. An old man shivered, someone's out to kill me. Which is impossible because I'm already dead. But why do I feel so worried? Bleach dimension. Why do I feel like someone wants to kill me? Meh, I'm 90% sure it's nothing. Naruto thought to himself. Looking back to Rukia, Naruto noticed her face was red. Ruki-chan, are you sick? Naruto walked closer and put a hand on her forehead, which only made her face grow redder. Do you need to go to the infirmary? Rukia turned to hide her reddening face. And no, I'm fine, just a little warm, that's all. Rukia stuttered. What was wrong with her? For some odd reason ever since Naruto woke up, Rukia would get an old feeling whenever she's near him, which only seemed to grow stronger the more days pass. What is this feeling? Naruto, what are you doing up here? It's my shift this week, after I dumped all that work on you last week. Ichigo felt it was justified to dump a whole week's work on Naruto since he was in a coma. He knew it wasn't Naruto's fault. That still didn't change the fact Ichigo wanted to get back at him. Unlike you, I love doing this. I feel I was made to this. So as long as I'm able to fight, I'll keep on fighting. Dabbeo. Ichigo eye twitched. I'm going to get an eye problem with all these people driving me nuts. Ichigo glanced up at the sky, melancholy in his eyes. Why Kami, why must I suffer? Suddenly pulse of Reiatsu is felt, sending Naruto, Rukia, and Ichigo on guard. Turning towards where they felt it, they see a bi-spectacle boy with short black hair that framed his face, dark blue eyes, and he weared some white outfit, thing that was weird even by Shinigami standards. Ichigo growled, it's you again. What do you want, Ishida? Naruto looked confused and turned to Rukia. Oi. Ruki-chan, who is this guy? Holding back her blush, Rukia responded, he's a Quincy, a race of humans, who somehow discovered how to use Reiatsu and developed their own techniques for it. For what I know they mostly use spiritual bows, the most common one called Kojaku, Lone Sparrow. Ishida pushed the rim of his glasses back on his face, only using his pointer finger to do so. What I want, Kurosaki. I want to play a little game. Ichigo's eyebrow rose in annoyance. What kind of shit are you spouting, Ishida? You adjusted his glasses at what seemed to be the 100th time for that day. Not of the sort, I just want to have a challenge of sorts. Naruto decided to hop into the conservation at that moment. What kind of challenge? Ryu glanced at Naruto in mild interest before addressing his question, to see who are stronger, Shinigami or Quincy. Naruto gave him a blank stare. You're challenging me and Ichigo, who have had our powers for less than a month, while you have had yours for Kami knows long, and actually expect this to be an accurate depiction of the strength of Shinigami compared to Quincy. Not to mention that while you've probably been training with your free time, me and my brother have just been killing hollows with no room for training. Well, maybe not me, but he doesn't need to know that. Shishishishi. And then you challenge us to a competition of your choice and expect us to have a winning shot. The roof became silent at Naruto's proclamation, before Naruto's next words shattered it. Where do I sign up? A foxy grin broke off across his face. Everyone but Naruto fell back anime style into the ground, prompting Naruto to rub the back of his head sheepishly. What I say? Ichigo got back up and sighed. Only you, Naruto. Only you. Ryu just refixed the position of his glasses, trying to shake off Naruto's clairvoyant statement. So Kurosaki Ichigo, do you also accept? Ichigo sighed as he put his forehead into his palm. Someone has to keep this Baka out of trouble. Meh, I won't like it, but I'll do it. Absolutely not. Rukia reprimanded them. All will not stand idly by as you two put your lives on the line for something so childish. Ichigo's eye twitched as he pointed accusingly at Rukia. Cut it with the bullshit. You're only saying that because Naruto's part of it. If it was just me you would be encouraging to go along with it. A tinge of red stained Rukia's cheeks as she turned her head out of their vision. I have no idea what you're talking about. As Ichigo and Rukia began their bickering, Naruto turned to Ryu. So. Ryu. A slight cringe is seen in Ryu's eye at Naruto's informality. When does this competition start and what is it anyway? After school and hollow killing. Well, see you then. I have to stop them before it gets out of hand. May the best man win. Ruki-chan won. Don't beat him too badly. I don't want my dad to start beating on me just because Ichigo's in the hospital. Well, fuck you, Naruto. Ichigo managed to get out through the beating and screams of pain. Ah, another school day in the life and times of Kurosaki Naruto. After school roof. Naruto, Rukia, and Ichigo are seen standing on the roof, staring at the boy across it. The boy, who happened to be Ryu, reached in his coat pocket and pulled out a dark ball-looking object no bigger than a jawbreaker. Rukia's eyes widened. As that. Naruto gave a glance in Rukia's direction. What is that thing, Ruki-chan? A slight blush appeared on Rukia's face before she answered Naruto's question. I don't know how he got his hands on it, but that is hollow bait, used to attract hollows during training session at the Shinigami Academy. Ichigo became flabbergasted at that and stared at Ryu's as if he was insane. Are you fucking out of your mind? There's already enough of these fuckers running around as is, but you want to increase that number just for a silly competition. Naruto began hopping from one foot to the other as he swiftly punched the air in front of him, a huge grin on his face. More than usual, you say? Yahoo! I'm getting excited. I've been itching for a challenge for a while now as these small fry hollows are not cutting it. Hurry up, and what you got to do are you? Datbayo. Ichigo stared at Naruto wide-eyed before turning to Rukia with a glare. I've been meaning to say this, but what the fuck did your powers do to my brother? Not saying he wasn't always hyperactive, but this is getting ridiculous. Rukia just ignored him in favor of admiring Naruto. Ichigo's eye twitched before he sighed. 'Tis the life of a side character. To be ignored. Fuck that. You can't take over my story, Naruto. You already have your own. Naruto turned to Ichigo, giving him a blank stare. So. I got bored with mine. Too much shit about the cycle of hatred. Fuck that. This isn't your story. If I remember, this is called Kurosaki Naruto, not Kurosaki Ichigo, so shut up and buckle your seat belt in the back of the bus while I stay in the driver's seat. Rukia let out a cough. Guys, I think it's time to stop breaking the fourth wall and get on with the story. There are people dying to know what's happening. Finally. I thought this drama would go on forever. Every stared at Ryu as if he just arrived. Now, then the rules are simple. The person who kills the most hollows are pronounced the champion. Naruto gave a chuckle. So we're basically playing King of the Hill. If that's the way you like to think of it. Sure. With that said, Ryu crushed the dark pellet in his hand, releasing a miasma towards the sky before it suddenly dispersed in the atmosphere. A sweat drop appeared on the back of Naruto's head. That's a letdown. I expected something I don't know. More explosive. Regardless of presentation, it still does the job it was meant to do. The competition starts in 3.2.1. Go. With that Ryu blurred out if existence, leaving the trio by themselves. A frown marred Naruto's face. No fair. He didn't even wait for me and Ichigo to transform. Hurry up, Ruki-chan, before he gets too far away. Rukia sighed and reached into her book bag before pulling out her soul glove. I have no idea what's it called, and slammed it into Ichigo's body harshly, rocketing his soul over the roof, almost causing him to fall over. She calmly walked towards Naruto, before using as little force as possible to eject Naruto from his body. Here I go. Later, Ruki-chan, Naruto cried as he ran full speed towards where he felt hollow Reiatsu amassing. Ichigo just sent Rukia a glare as she kept an innocent look on her face. You know, if you weren't a girl I'll hit you. Rukia gave Ichigo a smirk. Lucky I don't have such a restriction, Ichibaka. A grin grew on Ichigo's face. Maybe, but at least I have powers. With that, Ichigo also blurred away, not giving Rukia a chance to process what he said. Naruto. Dai you teams. Datbeo. Naruto shouted as he engaged a group of hollows. He blurred between their ranks like a bolt of lightning, taking out 5 hollow per slash of his sword. A hollow appeared before Naruto. It roared before sending its sharp as knives claws towards Naruto's body, only for him to disappear in the last second, appearing above it, too slow. Naruto yelled out before delivering a slash from head to waist, severing the hollow in half before it disappeared in a flash of light. 22. Alright, I'm going to win this for sure. Naruto has snapped out his self-praise, by what looked to be an army of hollows, all staring at him with a hungry gaze. Naruto pointed his right hand at them. Oi! You teams want some too. Who am I to deny you? Time to take it up a notch. Kaoken. A brilliant red aura burst around Naruto's form, filling him with power, before he blurred out of existence and reappeared behind the whole army of hollows, sword still outstretched. The hollows let out a pained roar as over 1/3 of the army had been wiped out with that one attack, bursting into millions of little particles. Naruto turned towards them, a grin growing on his face. Who's next? Ichigo. Ichigo used his humongous Zanpakuto as a battering ram as he tore through the hordes of hollows that didn't seem to have an end in sight. Last time I volunteer for a challenge. Out of nowhere, a fist smashes into Ichigo, sending him crashing through an office building, smashing his body into a filing cabinet. Ichigo painfully extracted his body from the wrecked cabinet before exiting the giant hole that was smashed by his body. Looking for the culprit of the sneak attack, Ichigo found what seemed to be a hollow laughing its ass off at Ichigo's misery. Ichigo's Reiatsu appeared around in waves as he focused his anger onto the hollow, causing it to stop laughing. Why, you little tem. I kill you. The hollow, seeing as it couldn't face such a strong opponent, ran with its tail between its leg, Ichigo following in heavy pursuit. Competition forgotten in sake of revenging. Get back here and die like whatever the fuck you are. Rukia. Rukia sighed from her perch on top of a tall building as she watched Ichigo comically chase after the hollow, who by some stroke of luck remain out of his grasps. Sadly, the hollows in his way were destroyed before they could even blink. Well, at least he doing something productive. Time to see how the Quincy's doing. You. This is getting quite annoying. You was an intelligent individual. That's why instead of huge amounts, he used the bare minimum of hollow bait to attract fairly decent amount of hollows, not this. That little should not have been able to something this many hollows at once. You turned his Kojaku to the left before letting a blue arrow that struck a hollow from his blind spot, trying to sneak up behind him. No matter. I will not lose to Shinigami. Especially not those imbecile Kurosakis. With renewed vigor, You began shooting arrows left and right, eliminating hollows by the dozen. Naruto. Naruto was now up to Kaioken 2x, trying to keep up with these hollows. It was no that they were too strong, it was that there seemed to be an infinite amount of them, and it was slowly wearing our hero down, but Naruto didn't seem to care in the least, too content at feeling the euphoria of battle. Keep coming. Don't stop. Datbeo. Kaioken 2.5x just made that up. It should be possible. The crimson torrent of power grew even stronger around his form and seemed to lash out at any stray hollow he missed during his rampage. Come on. Give me more. Naruto screamed as his battle lust grew out of control, causing his baser instincts to take control. Show me my capacity. 1 hour later, Naruto, Ichigo, and Ryu fought their way to the center of the epidemic where wraith-like portals appeared in the sky. Naruto glanced towards his battle-weary comrades. Oi! I'm at 570. Where you at? Ichigo gave him a smug smirk. I'm at 523, but I'm happy I managed to catch that slippery bastard. Ryu frowned as he heard their answers. I'm at 480 myself. Ha! We kicked your ass and more importantly I won. Datbeo, Naruto said as he did a victory dance. Glancing at the sky, a ghost of a grin appeared on Ryu's face. I'm afraid it just begun. The portals in the sky suddenly opened up revealing two hulking beasts that looked to be made of shadows. Like Hollow, they also possess a mask on their face, but had a pointy Pinocchio nose with it and a metal spiked collar around their robe-like neck. The creatures gave off an earth-shattering screech causing the whole area to shake as if an earthquake hit. Without warning, Rukia appeared out of nowhere and ran beside their prone forms, Naruto, Ichigo, and Quincy. You can't engage that Hollow. It's a Manos Grande and it's way out of your league. Naruto, Ichigo, and Ryu all shared a glance before Naruto said, all for making the thing worth the 1,000 points. Ichigo gave off a prideful smirk. I feelin' good today, I'm up for it. Ryu noted curtly, so am I. Rukia's eye twitched in disbelief. Did you not hear what I said? It's impossible for you guys to beat the... A red haze overtakes everything as one of the Manos charges a red ball in front of its mouth. It shone down ominously on everything, prepared to destroy anything that gets in its way. Fear grasped Rukia's heart as she recognized the attack. Oh no. That's a Sero. We're done for. Are you deciding to take action before the beast launched its ball of destruction, charged up all of his leftover Reiatsu into one arrow? I only have one shot. Ryu released the Reiatsu-filled arrow towards the Manos charging the Sero. The arrow flew through the air at Mach speeds before it connected and detonated upon hitting the sphere. Ryu smiled at the defeat of the Manos before turning back towards the twins and Rukia. Well, I believe that's my victory. Suddenly the area is taken over by a brilliant red glow again, and this time it seemed fiercer did before. Ryu's eyes widened as he turned back and saw the Manos he thought he destroyed intact and look as pissed as ever. Well, it seems you made him mad. Ichigo stated blankly. Guess it's my turn. Here goes. Ichigo crouched down before he jumped as high as he can towards the Manos charging the Sero, soaring through the air like a missile. What's wrong with him? Is he crazy? Rukia all but shouted. Naruto gave her a grin. Nah, he's just plain old Ichigo. Right before the Manos released its rain of destruction down, Ichigo sailed in front of the malevolent energy and used his Zanpakuto as a baseball bat and rammed the Reiatsu back into the Manos' mouth, causing it to implode on itself. With that done, Ichigo fell back towards the earth, only to be caught last minute by Naruto. Rukia and Ryu looked at Ichigo wide-eyed. He managed to defeat the Manos, even when I could not. Just how strong are these two? Seeing its comrade die caused the one remaining Manos to screech in anger before it too began charging up as on Sero, this one looking more powerful than the other by tenfold. I guess it's my turn. No, are you crazy? Do you sense the amount of Reiatsu coming off that Manos? It's a suicide mission. Naruto, I agree with Rukia, that's stronger than the one I took on a huge amount. So what? Am I supposed to sit here and watch us be destroyed just because something is stronger than me? No, I'll never give up. That's my Shinigami Nindo. Naruto crouched his body and cupped his hands. He also began chanting the Kido he would become famous for. Me. A ball of azure Reiatsu began to grow in Naruto's hands. The Manos completed its Sero before it released its power, sending it to the earth below. Me. The blue glow overtook half of Naruto's body and only seemed to grow in intensity. Ryu looked at Naruto in fascination. What power! To think he possessed this much Reiatsu. Come on, Naruto. Don't let us down. I would be helping you, but I'm too wiped out. To think that a human could possess this much energy. He may actually be able to win. Right before the Sero seemed imminent, Naruto threw his cupped hands forward and let out a roar. A huge blue beam rocketed forth, connecting with the Sero and began fighting for dominance. The Sero was rapidly advancing due to the Manos packing more Reiatsu into its attack. Kaioken 3x. Naruto screamed as the blazing inferno once again made its presence around Naruto's form, boosting his already amazing power. The two beams seemed to stabilize at a sort of midpoint, with one struggling to hold back the other. Seeing no other way to win, Naruto decided to give it his all, regardless of consequence. I'm sorry Go-sensei. I know I said I wouldn't use it, but I have to. Ah, Kaioken 4X. The blazing red aura around Naruto grew to epic proportions, its new power doubled the size of Naruto's already large attack, causing it burst through the Mano's far too inefficient attack, colliding directly with the Mano's, obliterating it into nothingness as the whole world goes up in a flash of white light. When the light dies down, two weird portals that were once in the sky fade from existence and the sky reverts to its original color. Naruto corked his head to the side, staring at the shocked trio looking at him in amazement. I guess that means I won. Nay, these were Naruto's last words before his world goes black. The end. Now we will see you in the next video.